Hello, my name is Chris Batizo.
Hi, my name is Anthony Quintero. We'll be telling you how batteries work.
Okay.
Old batteries back in the 200 BC would use an acid-like substance such as wine. Observation. For our first observation, we didn't get any volts. Then on the second time we did it, we still had nothing. The third time we did the project, we got somewhere around 30 volts. And on the fourth one we got 50. Then on the fifth one we got 95 volts.
The problem was on the first one we did add more salt, and then on the second one we put two teaspoons, and it went to 95 volts.
Our materials were a glass pitcher, salt, 2 tablespoons, a multimeter, pennies, nickels, and paper towels.
I'm going to tell you what each of them are for. The multimeter is to measure the voltage. The 2 tablespoons are to how much salt to put in. And the glass pitcher is to hold the water and salt in.
So our procedures were we would get the glass pitcher, we would add water, we would add some salt, then we would stir the salt until all of it was dissolved. Add the pennies and nickels to make sure they didn't touch. We cut the paper towels into small squares smaller than the nickel, and then we would stir it a little bit more. We would stack them up until they were dry. Then we would use a multimeter to see how many volts it would.
The first battery, I'm going to tell you how the first battery was made. The first battery was made in 1985, and it had a little bit of volts, and it had a piece of pan, a piece of metal between it, so you could protect it, and they would dump it in salt so it could get the volts.
The first battery design was made in 200 BC. It used a copper cord and acid in it, but it had low voltage, so did not work very well.
And that's our project.
Why did you guys choose your topic?
Because me and Chris thought it would be cool to see how the battery gets volts.
Yeah, and we had all the materials.
Okay. How many times did you repeat your experiment?
We repeated it at least like 5 or 6 times.
And if you were to do this experiment again, what would you do differently?
We would change the type of change we would use. We would try using like different types of change to see if it would work still.
We would change the amount of salt, and so it could work better. If it didn't work better, and we changed the math again.
And, sorry, what was one interesting fact you learned when doing your research paper?
We learned that the first design of battery was made in 200 BC.
And that we learned if the shield around it was made of copper.
Can you restate your hypothesis for me?
Our hypothesis. We thought we were going to get about 95 volts.
Okay. All right. Thank you.